So I've been busy recently and it's my day finally to have a look at the LT. And so basically it don't run. So my plan is today, I've just checked timing on it, on the fuel pump. And I think the previous owner had messed around with timing on fuel pump for some unknown reason. Another thing I found as well, it's got a bad earth, so I'll be having a jump lead on negative at battery to engine, which will aid the vehicle turning over. Eventually I will fix that once I get it running. So what I've had to do is, I've had to take the rock cover off. Again, quite simple, just 10mm bolts all the way around. Took them off, and just to see where cylinder 1 was. Now, a good bit of kit is this D24 Volvo manual. So what that does is, it's basically everything on this engine is in that book. I'll put a link in the description down below for where I got it from. It's free. I just printed it off, laminated it, because obviously I don't want to get oil on it. I can just wipe it if I do, and it's just better to have it on paper than on my phone. So what I did is, I turned the engine over until it was top dead centre. Now, there's two top dead centres, by the way. If you turn it 180 degrees, you're going to get to TDC, which, if you can see here, I've marked on flywheel with some Tipex. There is, I'll just try and zoom in. I'll try and get a torch in the right direction. Right. You can see there's that white bit of Tipex. Now, this is a bit difficult to film, but see that arrow right there and that line? Well, underneath the arrow there's a 0, which indicates top dead centre. Now, I had it at one top dead centre, and the fuel pump has a groove. There's a groove which is down there somewhere. Yeah, there. And that should be lining up there. So whoever set the timing on this set it to the wrong top dead centre. Instead of taking the rock cover off, which again it's easy to do, it's only 10mm nuts, and checking cylinder 1, see cam lobes on the what do you call them now? The cam lobes on the followers. So that means that cylinder 1 is at top dead centre and the valves are closed. Cylinder 6 is open. It's open for business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock the fuel pump off now with an extension bar, basically, which will fit through there. That locks that off. I'm going to crack the cam nut off, and I'm going to alter the fuel timing, which will turn once I've cracked this off, I can remove that and then turn the fuel pump 180 degrees so it matches to time up. So I'll show you how I do it. Basically what I've done is I've used this extension bar to pin this pump in place, so I can lever the 19mm nut off the end here, because this is on a taper. So as long as that stays there at top dead centre, I remove this and then I use my 19mm again. Again, it's very hard to film, and I don't want to put my Osmo in here because it gets a bit dirty. So that's slackened off on that nut. As you can see, it's turning, but the cam's not. So if the camshaft's not turning, it goes to the cam belt here, which is joined to the crank, which times everything up. So what I'm looking for is this notch. I need to line it up with that fuel pump notch. Again, just keep an eye on your cams and make sure they don't turn. They shouldn't do, because like I say, it's just a taper. So this was 108 degrees out of time on diesel pump. As you can see, notch lines up with notch. Just make sure that's dead on. Now what I'll do is I'll pin the pump again, keep an eye on top dead centre, and tighten this. Again, on the in the booklet it tells you what torques. So I'll have a look, and to be fair, I'm not going to torque it up just yet. I'm just going to make sure it runs. I'm just going to crack it, you know, so it's tight. So we'll see if we can get it running. What also I'm going to do, I think it's actually run out of fuel as well. So I've got a Halford's 5 litre diesel can. Other diesel cans are available. I've also got some tubing, and what I'm going to do is I will gravity feed the diesel from the can to the pump directly, and we'll see if we can get it running. So what I've done is I've done 2 revolutions, so I'm back at true top dead centre again, which, as you can see, the tip X mark lines up with the arrow, well, a little line next to the tip X mark. The fuel pump lines up notch to notch to notch, so all the notches line up, and you can see we're at true top dead centre, because cylinder 1 is at top dead centre and the cams aren't pushing on the lobes. So let's put the rocker cover back on. I'll double check these cam bolts and see if it runs. So I've wired this up, and you've got your return pipe and your feed pipe. Now it's got fuel in the lines going in, and I've seen it come back out again, so I know it's definitely bleeding. Now this is the issue I've got, and I think it might be a fuel pump. So if you can see there on that pipe, oops, I'm just turning, yeah, where are we? I've just cracked that injector off. Well, injector pipe, this is the back of the VE pump. So I'm just going to crank it over. Just crank over slightly slow because of bad earth. As you can see, it's just spitting a little bit out. I think I might need a fuel pump. I think I might need one. Right, let's get numbers off it and let's go down eBay.